impromptu live stream on Sunday morning. I have no idea if anyone will join us. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I am just testing out some new times because I do like the freedom, the idea of doing live streams when I want to do them, when I feel in the mood for talking, as opposed to sticking to specific times. So that's what I'm doing. But so far, no one is there, which is not a good sign. But in the words of Kevin Costner, if you build it, they will come. But good morning, everyone. Or rather, no one. I wonder, can you hear me? Let me check my volume on my laptop. Hello. Yep, we've got sound. And we have two people. There you go. Hallelujah. Two people have entered the ether. Who is there? Morning from Colm Farrell. Good morning. How are you? Where are you in the world? Three people. Things get better. The only way is up. Are we all having a fabulous Sunday or a Saturday in some countries? Yeah, it's Saturday in America, won't it? Saturday night. Sunday morning here. Who else do we have with us? Colm Farrell. That's an unusual name. Was it Colin McFarrell? Sound is loud and clear. Glad to hear it. So where in the world are you from? Looking a bit unkempt this morning. Haven't shaved, have I? I shave every day. I'm an early morning shaver, but I haven't today. I won't go into the reasons why. Just drove past. Yeah, it's only when you get the camera looking on you, you realise how unkempt one looks. Three people, only one is talking to me, which means the other two are shy or they are honestly uninterested and they're just going to lurk in the background. And why not? If you're a lurker, lurk. But if you're a talker, talk. Tell me something, say something. One of the lurkers has gone. There you go. I'm good at scaring people off. Yep. Only two now. This may be a very short live stream. I'm not very good at talking to myself. The beauty is, if no one comes, we can delete it and it can be our little secret. It never happened. There you go. You're a mysterious guy, Cotton. You're not answering my questions. You're asking me questions. That's fair enough. What are my plans for today? I'm not sure, really. Don't have any. It will probably be a slow, lonely, lazy Sunday in the house because, yeah, we've been quite active the last few days. Went to a party last night and I was out Friday. I was out on Thursday. So, yeah, I don't think we'll do much today. I will maybe work on some questions from the quiz. I might go for a walk and make a video later, but I can't really think of anything to talk about. That's why I thought I would do the live stream. But yeah, sure Ellen will cook something nice for dinner later on. But yeah, a quiet day in, I think, mate. Michael Rogers, Mikkel Rogers. Good morning. Good morning, Mikkel. Welcome to the live stream. Where are you from? Yeah, I wanted to try a different time because I've got a regular crew on my live stream and they're all fantastic, but they're used to the evening ones. I thought if I try it on Sunday morning, see it, maybe Sundays and Saturday mornings over here will become a regular, depending on how many people we get. Although I'm a firm believer that it's quality, not quantity. Well, you have to be a small channel like mine. If you started believing it was the numbers, you think, my God, I don't have any. An interesting name, Colm. I'm can't quite work it out. Is that short for something? 2 likes. God bless you. I don't know who you were, but thank you for the likes. 4 people watching, 2 likes. That either means 2 people don't like or they're undecided. I will have to win them over and get them on the like button. Global Greg, hey man, how are you doing? There you go. I know Global Greg. I'm good, Greg. How are you? What's the word on the street with you and Tyson? Uh, Ken McColgan. W2F have I missed? You haven't missed anything, mate. You've only just begun. But I'm very happy that you were able to make it. Miguel Rogers, Tennessee, USA. Tom Farrell. It means peace. Does it really? There you go. That shows my ignorance, my blissful ignorance. Well, that's a good handle then. That is. You call it handle. I'm not sure what you call it on YouTube. I know the picture's your avatar, but is that your handle? Please enlighten me. Com Farrell, it means peace. In which language? And how are things with you, Ken? And how are things with you, Greg? My YouTube buddy, you've been standing up for me against the trolls recently. I have noticed it, mate. Much appreciated. Global Greg, doing well. Looking at a March relocation, just deciding exactly where I'll go when I get there. A relocation to which country? Are you talking about the Philippines? Or are you talking about a relocation within the US of A? Colm Farrell, I believe Handle was the original name in the early days of online forums. I know it was with CBs. In the old CB days, you had your CB radio handles. We I was about to shout to Ellen, Greg is coming to the Philippines, but she's busy working. I better not do that. I'll get in trouble for disturbing her. Wow. Uh, Ken, I'm going to grab a beer, rum, and vodka. Hey, that sounds like a cocktail. Good for you, mate. Bit early though, isn't it? You're in Oz. Mind you, doesn't make you a bad person. And I've been working my ass off, mate. Well, then you should enjoy your drink. You've earned it. Beer, rum, and vodka. What the hell that would taste like? I'm assuming you're gonna have it in different drinks, but I suppose it depends on the beer. But that could potentially be pretty foul. I fear. So you're coming to the Philippines, Greg. I'm surprised by that. Happily surprised. Hope it works out for you. But I kind of thought you were. I don't know. I know you said you were leaning more towards the move, but we've not done it yet. But presumably you sorted out transport. You've worked out how you're going to get Tyson over here. Then we at 2 p.m. here. Really? I thought the time distance was closer. There you go. I did not know that. Great. Nice to have a wake up at 5 a.m. To catch a live stream for a change. Not to have to wake up at 5, I think. Yeah. There you go. Is that what it is for you? See, this is the trouble. I quite enjoy doing the live streams, but I don't know what time to do them. It's like because it just doesn't. The times that work for me are incredibly antisocial for the vast majority of the subscribers who watch. Because it's like I quite like doing it at 7 p.m. at night because that works for my schedule. Well, it used to work, doesn't work anymore because we seem to be doing something every night now. Which is why I'm thinking of changing them. But 7 p.m. at night does not work for the American audience. It's like you say 5 o'clock in the morning, and for the UK audience, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. I can't. I wish I could pick a time that tick the most boxes, but it's hard to work it out. Colm Farrell, realistically, what's the cheapest someone could live in the Philippines? Eating mostly local food and eating out Western food twice a week with a nice condo or house, depending on what's cheapest. Um, it's I know some people who live here. The thing about the Philippines is some people live here ridiculously cheaply, and some people profess to live here ridiculously cheaply. I have interviewed a few people who claim to be living on $600 a month. But in reality, they're not. It just seems to be like some people are badge of honor, the cheapest you can live, and then some people vastly exaggerate their living costs because they want to portray themselves as having more money than they want to. But it depends on your definition of a nice property. Someone once asked me the question a few months back: could they live here on £500 a month? And I said, no, no chance. But then I thought about it afterwards and thought, well, there are some people here who are doing it, whether it be the lifestyle for you. But if you got the location right, if you chose Dumaguete, for example, Dumaguete is certainly the cheapest place I've been to in the Philippines. I don't know why Dumaguete is so cheap, but it is in comparison with everywhere else I've visited in the Philippines. You could definitely live here, I would say, for comfortably for $1,000 a month, comfortably. I worked out what's the cheapest I could live here for. I wouldn't want to, but I came to the conclusion if I had to at a stretch, there have been months when I've lived here, living the kind of lifestyle that you're talking about, you could do it for, I think, $800 a month. Below that, you would start to really be struggling, I think. You wouldn't be enjoying yourself, I don't think, unless you are the kind of person who wants to live like that. But yeah, I think you could. I know you could. You could do what you're talking about, eat Filipino, go out Western twice a week, live in an okay house or apartment for, and I say okay, it's not going to be luxury, for $800 a month. I firmly believe that. But you would have to have savings in that. If you came here and that was all your money, then you're a fool because anything can happen. Things can go wrong. There will be months when it will be higher. There might be months when it's lower. So, assuming you have an emergency fund, assuming you got your medical care covered, you're just talking about the bare minimum living cost to have an okay lifestyle. I would say $800. A lot of people will shoot me for that, but it's doable, and I know people are doing it. So I wouldn't want to, but yeah, that's the question you asked. That's the answer I give you. Global Greg, yeah, we'll fly to Manila, take a few days there to adjust, then hop on a ferry because he can't fly domestic. The end goal is Dumaguete, but I'm thinking about stops in Roxas City and Iloilo first. Okay, never been to Roxas City. I don't think I've heard of Roxas City. Um, well, good luck with your travels, mate. Be nice to see you again when you get to Dumaguete. Ken McCulkin, one beer and a shot of rum and another of vodka. Well, there you go. That would be a quick night. If I was doing that, I wouldn't get through that many drinks. Colin Farrell, 800 is cheap. Yeah, and it's doable. Doable in Dumaguete. It is. I did a video once in the early days. I gave myself a 500 peso budget for the day. What could I do? And that covered my breakfast. I went down, I got some rolls from the local bakery, had a coffee. At lunch, I went to Krispy King. And in the evening, I went to one of the local bars and had I think it was chicken adobo and a beer. And I even got a beer to take home with me. And I had my hair cut. I think it came to 460 pesos. So, I mean, if you're happy doing that, if you want to go to the market and you want to buy your vegetables and you're going to eat a lot of fish and things like that, it is doable. It is doable. Particularly if you're a single guy. I mean, I know a guy I interviewed a while back. He has a house, so he's built his house, but he's living on £700 a month, which would be about $850. Obviously, he doesn't have any rent because he's built his house, but that's all he's got income. Hasn't got a full UK pension, and he's married, so he's supporting his wife as well. And he seems to be living very well. He doesn't go out that much, but he doesn't want to. He's been here about 10 years and he's living very happily. So, I mean, it's horses for courses, but it's doable. But as I say, you would need to have emergency funds. It's not a place to come because I felt bad when I told that guy, you couldn't live on £500 a month. That's all he was getting. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. If he's only got £500 a month and he's living on that in the UK, I don't know how he's doing it, but his lifestyle would be a lot better here on £500 a month. So I never made the video. There you go. Ken McCulkin, my girl lives on Hamburgen Island. Your latest girl lives on Hamburgen Island. So you've been talking online, have you? You do get through some girlfriends, mate. Roxas sounds like Roja. It's pronounced Roja, is it? Well, I'm not surprised. It's still quite early for me, Greg. Forgive my lapses. I believe that the Canadian vlogger who ran the Canadian Beaver Bar live streams there, same island as never heard of him. Don't know. Don't really know any vloggers. Um, Ken McCulkin, yes. Well, I hope she's the one. Great. I hope she's the one, Ken. Got to be in it to win it, mate. I imagine you're going to have to spend an exorbitant fee on getting the dog over. The chat says, well, Colin Farrell's got the #1 crown. Ken's got the #2 crown. Greg's got the #3 crown. Interesting. Never quite worked out how these crowns work. But sometimes people chat and chat and chat endlessly, but then like #2, and someone else will come in, say a couple of things, and go to #1. I'm not wearing a microphone today, so I hope the sound is okay. I'll only find out on playback. Then I had to find a girl who was as pretty as your lady. That's not saying much, mate. God, I hope she doesn't hear me saying that. Greg, going to be about $7,000. That's a lot for a flight, isn't it? And where does Tyson go? He goes in a hold, or you don't have him on the flight with you, do you? Presumably, there's no quarantine when they arrive at the other end either. I'm guessing. Colin Farrell, 800 would be in a popular area or a less popular area with less foreigners and well-to-do locals. Well, yeah. See, look, I'm saying 800. I'm talking about Dumagetti. You could live cheaper, I imagine, in the provinces. I mean, the further and the more isolated you get, the more the price go down. But you are saying that you would like to go out and eat Western twice a week. You're not going to be able to do that in the provinces. So yeah, if you wanted to sacrifice that, if you wanted to live like real Filipinos, and I don't mean washing in rainwater and all that nonsense. I mean you're going to not really go to Western things at all because there aren't going to be any. Then you could live cheaper. You could live cheaper. I met a guy who was living out about 20 clicks down there the other day, an English guy. Well, he's Canadian, but he went to school in England, so he sounds English. I think he's being English, and he's paying $2,500 a month for his place, which I find extraordinary. I imagine it's not very glamorous, but he's happy there. Colin Farrell, what breed of dog? Well, I can answer for him. It's a pit bull. Global Greb Tarzan actually has to go on a separate flight. KLM Cargo. They have handlers for him all along the way. That's there you go. That's going to be stressful for you then worrying about him. Colin Farrell, he's a pit bull boxer mix. I didn't know it was a mix. I thought he was a pure pit bull. I didn't know that. Colin Farrell, no, that's what I mean. I need Western fix and wouldn't live in a dangerous area with shady people. Well, just because you live in the provinces doesn't mean you're in a dangerous area with shady people. I don't think it's any more dangerous there. It's just potentially more boring if you can't adapt to the lifestyle. But to be honest with you, there are not many shady places in Dumagetti. Although there was a shooting. I think it was a policeman shot 4 people in Sibylan a couple of weeks back. But I haven't really followed that story. Dumagetti is one of the safest cities. Well, theoretically, if you look at Google, it is the safest city in the Philippines. I mean, crime rate is very low here. I've not. I think I know of a few people who've been burgled or robbed here, but that's going back 6 years. Since I've been here, I haven't heard of anyone. I mean, I had my phone stolen, but that was my own fault for leaving it in my scooter. I left it in my scooter when I went shopping. I've never felt in danger here, and as I say, theft and things like that are very, very, very low. Planet Jonesy, good day there. Good day, mate. Ed McCulloch, good day, mate. There you go. I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest we have another Australian, an Aussie in the chat. I've never seen it written like that for though. GI Day. There is no right or wrong. Um, Unless it is General Infantryman Day. I doubt it. And Global Red, do you know many people who live in Sibyland? Be paying attention to rentals. They seem quite a bit cheaper there. Yeah, they are quite a bit cheaper there. There are a few. Brent Trippin has moved there a while back. He lives in Sibyland. I actually lived in Sibyland when I first got here. I lived opposite the market near the Mayo ferry port. I had an Airbnb there for the first few months, and yeah, it is cheaper there. A lot of expats don't seem to want to live there for some reason, and I'm assuming that is why the prices are lower there. And there's no reason why you wouldn't live there. I mean, the reality is, Sibylan itself isn't great. You know, I mean, there's a few restaurants out there, but they're not great. But what is great about it is the transport links, because you've got a lot of towns and cities along that route further up. You get constant buses and trikes. There's much better transport links going from Sibylan to Dumaguete than there are going from Bekong. Very few buses go to to Bekong and Darwin in comparison to Sibylan. So it's very easy to get into Dumaguete. Yeah, I'm surprised more don't live. I'm surprised more people on a lower budget don't live in Sibylan. There's a lot of housing developments now over there. You get a lot more bang for your buck. As soon as you get past City Mall, Darrow, into the Sibylan area, prices drop considerably. Compound, and I know a couple of expats. I was at a party last night. An expat lives out there, and he's got some very wealthy ones as well. I mean, there's some big houses out there. So it's yeah, I know a few, but nowhere near as many as I do live in. Most of the expats that you will meet in Dumaguete, very few of them live in Dumaguete proper, but some do. Some live in Sibylan. The vast majority live in Bekong, where we are, or they live in Valencia, or they live in Darwin. Vast majority. Colin Farrell, if you were going on holiday to the Philippines like you did in Vietnam, where would you recommend someone to go as you're an individual that lives in the Philippines? Um, I'm not really someone who can advise on that. I've never been. I've not been to many places. Um, Siquijor and Malbo are the only two places I've been to that are touristy. I've never been to Palawan. I've not been to Boracay. I've not been to Bohol. But they seem to be the popular places. It depends what age group you are and what you're looking for. I mean, if you're like, doing the backpacking thing, I think you've got a world of options. But personally, I wouldn't go on holiday in the Philippines. I think the Philippines is a nice place to live, but we've more or less decided that when we take time off, and a lot of the expats feel the same here, you're better to go to another country. We're going to go to Vietnam again next. Um, I can't see us. I mean, we went to Siquijor for a weekend last weekend, but that was just to take Kayla, Ellen's daughter, because she couldn't come to Vietnam with us. So we said we'd make it up and take her somewhere, and she wanted to go to Siquijor. So we went to Siquijor. But, unless it was to take Kayla somewhere like, I don't know, Bohol or whatever, I wouldn't go on holiday anywhere in the Philippines, because I know some people that can disagree, but it's same wherever you go. It's not like Thailand where you can, go from Bangkok to Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai and basically feel like you're in a different country. Everywhere I have been to in the Philippines is basically the same. The only thing that's different is the beach. Some beaches are better than others. Um, it's strange, but I mean, you've got to remember, I've done a lot of traveling around East Asia, Southeast Asia. I mean, I've been here coming up to 14, 15 years. So when I go to places, I'm comparing them to other places in Southeast Asia. Now, if I had never been to Southeast Asia and I'd gone to Siquijor on holiday, I probably think I'd found paradise. I'd probably think if I'd been to Mobile for the first time, I think this is fantastic. But I compare it to other, places I've been to in Southeast Asia, and doesn't cut muster. I'd be very disappointed if I'd flown from the UK to go to Mobile, or I'd flown from the UK to go to Siquijor. I think, God, I've wasted my time here. Why the hell didn't I go to Vietnam or Thailand or Koh Samui or whatever? But because they're close, it's not too bad for us. But why I don't invite people over, my friends from the UK, they'll say they'll come and visit me here. And I say, don't. If you want to come over here, I'll meet you in Bangkok or I'll meet you. Don't come to Dumaguete is a nice place to live. It's not a place for a holiday. And but if people did come here to visit me, I'd take them over to Sikki Hall or go to them for a few days or whatever, because there are nice beaches there. Where am I on the chat now? Ken McCulkin, are there any all-you-can-eat places where you live, Simon? Yeah, there are, but not that many. They tend to be special occasions. I think there's a few breakfast buffets where you can eat as much as you like. I don't know why they don't do more of them. I mean, there are some specialist places. There's a couple of chicken wing places, and I think a seafood place where you can eat as much as you like. There's a restaurant, Cafe Racer, that does it once a month. They have like a steak night, and it's a buffet, and you can eat as much as you like. There's a bar called I'm like Brew Garden, and on the last Saturday of a month they do an eat as much as you like buffet. So there are, and there will probably be some Filipino places that I don't know about. I mean, Dumaguete's got a lot of restaurants. I mean, when we came back from Vietnam, I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if there's a Vietnamese restaurant if they opened a Vietnamese restaurant in Dumaguete? But then a friend of mine, his wife said there is, and she told me it was good and recommended it. I looked online, there's 5. I didn't even know they were here. So there probably are some more eat as much restaurants I don't know about, but it's not really a thing. It's not really a thing as it is. When we went to Cebu last Christmas, a lot of places there, a lot of really good buffets like Vikings. You go through the malls, loads of eat as much as you like places. Not really so much in Dumaguete, or very few. Global Greg, good info to have. Thanks. You're welcome, mate. And Ken McCulkin, or do I need to go to Cebu City? Yeah, there's a lot in Cebu City. If that's what you want to do, then there's a lot of buffets and that there in Cebu City. Don't fail, but I think that's because you live there, so you think it's not worth holidaying in the country. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as I said, if it wasn't for the fact I was living here, and it wasn't for the fact I'd lived in Asia for like approaching 15 years, and I came to the Philippines for the first time, I think it was amazing. I think it was amazing. Like when we went to Vietnam, I love Vietnam. We are going to move there at some stage, I think. But if I'd spent 8 years in Vietnam, like I did with Thailand, if I went to Thailand for the first time, I'd probably think that was better than Vietnam. Because the first time I went to Vietnam, I at Thailand, I fell in love with the place. I mean, I went there for a couple of weeks, ended up staying approaching 8 years. So yeah, you're right. But that's why I was trying to explain to you. You're asking me where to go. I am basing it on my experiences in other Asian countries. If you've never been to one of those, you'll think the Philippines is fantastic. And the Philippines will be fantastic for some people. I mean, I am not really a nature guy. I like a nice beach, but I'm not a beach bum. I mean, I won't spend my time on there. And I'm not, I know it's probably not nice to sad to say, I'm not really into your waterfalls and your hiking in the mountains and all that kind of thing. I've done a few waterfalls here. I think, just not, it's nice paddling with a fish biting your feet, and they are spectacular. But I've never been to the one up in the mountain, the Red Rocks up here. It's not far away. So yeah, if that's what you're coming for, if you're really into the nature and you want to do waterfalls and you want your beaches, Philippines probably beats a lot of countries, probably better than Thailand. So I mean, yeah, you're just asking me my personal opinion. As I say, my personal opinion is very tempered for the reasons I've just said. Colin Farrell, I'm a beach person. Well, there you go. Then the Philippines will be for you. But I mean, it's like Siquijor. Siquijor has an amazing beach, Palawan Beach. It's not very big. It's about 800 meters. And you've got a little one over there. So there are, some of them are picturesque. They've got some massive beaches in Malbo, huge, but they're yellow sand. They're not white sand. I think the best beaches here are supposed to be Bohol, Boracay, and Palawan, but I've never been to them, so I can't really tell you on that. Global Greg Cole, I think a lot of others would agree with him. There's a reason so many other Southeast Asian countries have so many more tourists. Global Greg, move into Vietnam possibly. What kind of time frame do you think that might happen? Um, I don't know. I don't know. It might happen in several years. It could happen a lot sooner. It's I think what we've got to do is we're going to have a few more holidays there. I think we're going to have to stay for a couple of months and then see how it goes because there will be decisions to make in terms of Kayla's education and you know Ellen's work and all the rest of it. I mean, when we first talked about it, Ellen was like, well, we'll do it in 5 years, 6 years, when Kayla goes to university. But then I started thinking, well, why not do it sooner? They've got some good international schools in Vietnam. Um, but I don't know if I really want to move there. But it's one of those things. I really enjoyed Vietnam until I spent a lot more time there. I will do a video soon. Did I make a mistake moving to the Philippines? Because I honestly believe now I did. I shouldn't have come here. I should have gone to Vietnam. Maybe Colombia. I don't know. I didn't realise that until I went to Vietnam. If I'd known what Vietnam was like in comparison to the Philippines, I would have gone there first, and I would have never come to the Philippines. So I made a mistake, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it because if I had gone there, I wouldn't have met the people I've met here. I wouldn't have the friends. I wouldn't have met Ellen. I wouldn't be in a relationship I'm in now. So there's no regrets, but I think I would have been happy. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So you're in a situation now where I really like the idea of living in Vietnam, but the trouble is, I'd be saying goodbye to my friends, and Ellen's got family and that, so it's not so easy. So it's kind of a case of home is where the heart is. But I do like the idea. What I think we will do, we'll probably end up spending, I don't know, half the year in Vietnam, half the year in Thailand. Sorry, in the Philippines. Keep this place, and just go there for longer and longer periods. I've always said the future. I think for a lot of expats, as time goes on, will be to spend your time between several countries, two countries, several countries. I've got no problem with that because, like with the tax laws in Thailand, if it works there, if they do manage to get a decent pound of flesh out of the expats there who are staying for more than 6 months of a year, then I've no doubt other countries will follow suit. And the only way I can see if people don't want to do that will be to move from country to country. And forgetting the tax issue, I quite like the idea of living in a couple of countries. 3 months in the Philippines, see all your friends, do the things you like to do. When it gets a bit boring, you go to Vietnam, have a nice 3 months there. Uh, when you start to miss home, you come back. I call it home now, didn't I? The Philippines. There you go. So yeah, I think that will probably how it will structure itself. Um, yeah, but time frame don't know yet. Colin Farrell, but I'm not a fan of places that are saturated with foreign tourists. Would prefer to be with locals. Um, yeah, well, I don't know any places that are saturated with foreign tourists. To be honest with you, I mean, they will say that Dumaguete is saturated with foreign tourists. I think we make up 2.4% of the population. Um, if you go to the Western bars and things like that, you'll see Westerners. But you can equally, go out places here. I mean, the majority of the restaurants around here, apart from the expat bars, you won't see any expats. You can go into Dumaguete and not see anyone. I mean, it's Sibilan, where I was living when I first got here. My next door neighbour, the lunatic, he was a Westerner. He didn't see many, very few, very few. You walked along the market, you'd be getting looks off people as if thinking, who's he? What's he doing here? So it's very easy to do that in Dumaguete. And Dumaguete is one of the highest, expat places. I really don't think anywhere is saturated in the sense, now, there are certain areas of London, for example, which are predominantly Asian. You go there and there won't be many white faces, predominantly Asian. I don't think there's anywhere in the Philippines where the faces you will see are predominantly white or Western. Um, why do you think you prefer Vietnam over the Philippines? Um, because I like Asian culture. I've always said the Philippines to me is Asia light. I like countries that are different. I find it more interesting. What I loved about Cambodia was the Cambodian culture. What I loved about Thailand was the challenge of learning the language and just the food and just I loved the The Buddhist culture. I think it makes it much more interesting if it's different to where you're used to. And the Philippines, unfortunately, I call it Asia Light. It's been so westernized. It's a Catholic country, they play basketball, there's bakeries on every street. They like hamburgers, hot dogs. The food isn't great here, Vietnam. See, I've always had a buzz about Southeast Asia since I came here. The trouble was when we went back to Thailand for our last holiday there, I didn't get the same buzz because I'd been there, I'd done it. I think my time in Thailand has come to an end. I still enjoy the food and going back to the place I used to go, but I didn't get the same kind of buzz. Did when we went to Vietnam. Got there and it felt this is Asia again. This really is Asia. They got such a strong culture there. Got so many great eating options. The people are incredibly friendly. There's a lot to learn. It's a challenge of learning the language. It's you know, yeah, it's just more exciting place to live. I mean, we spent when we went to Vietnam. We had a night in Manila before we left. We had a night. We came back. Um, I've been to Manila a few times now. Just don't like the place at all. Ho Chi Minh compared to Manila, for me, no comparison. What's it, Saigon rather? I say Saigon because the locals like to call it Saigon. I don't think we'd live in Saigon. I mean, that's the thing. That's the other thing. If we move there permanently, we've not been there enough times to know where to move to. I mean, our next plan is to either go to Hanoi or Da Nang, um, see what we feel about it. Most of the expats I've met over there, I think Da Nang would be the place that we would live because it's more angled towards expats. Don't think I'd want to live in Saigon, but I say that I don't know. I met a friend called Keith over there, who I know from City Hall, and he loves Saigon, but he's living in suburbs. You wouldn't want to live where we were. We were bang smack in the centre. Traffic was a nightmare. Um, Most of the places were tourist traps. You got people trying to sell you all the time. Wouldn't want that. Hanoi, I've heard, is really nice, but it's one of the most polluted cities, in the world or Southeast Asia. It's not going to do your long-term health any good. Um, so Da Nang, a lot quieter, nice beaches, large expat community, prices are lower. But we've not been, so we've got to try it first. Uh, Keith, yeah, it's good we had a nice curry. Oh, Keith, you're there. You're there, mate. You're there. Yeah. How you doing, Keith, mate? Yeah, it was. I loved that curry. The service was not great. It was funny when you lost your temper with the waiter, but I enjoyed that. We went for a curry the first night we got there, just around the corner from our place, and I thought that one at Currylicious was a lot better. It was a lot better. Yeah, that's the best chicken tikka masala I've had outside the UK. Really is. Keith, I'm going uh, to BAO Lock, Boa Lock next month to look at land out in the countryside. I don't like cities much. Oh, I thought you were loving it in the suburbs. Do you think the buying land is a big step? Um, you must be getting married then, Keith, if you're thinking about buying land. Um, Local Ed, yeah, man, sounds good. My early retirement plan was always to bounce around, spending a few months at a time in different countries. Hopefully, I will get to do that once Tarzan's no longer around. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Um, I'm sure you will. You strike me as someone who's going to bounce around. Well, obviously, you got the van now, but yeah, I mean, obviously, you're going to get a lot more freedom, obviously, when Tarzan passes. But I know you're not going to want that to be for a long time yet. Um, Boa Lock. See, I don't Boa Lock. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know where it is. I'll have to look on the map. Um, Ken McCulloch, better food in Vietnam. Yeah, better food than the Philippines, 100%. Better food than Cambodia. Not sure it's better than Thai. I'm still a bit undecided. I really enjoyed the food there, but I like Thai food as well. I'd have to spend a bit longer there, and before I can come to a decision which is better, Thai or Vietnamese. Ellen prefers Vietnamese food. She found Thai food too spicy, but I like spicy food. Keith, bit slow, lol. What is the stream or me or I don't know what we're doing there. Um, Keith, I never lived in a city. I'm a county guy. Yeah, well, I know you're up from Scotland. Why Bowler? Why that? I'm not going to try and say it again. I know I'm butchering it. Why that particular place, Keith? Is that the best place to get lamb? I mean, how far is that from Saigon? Even in Scotland, I live in the country all my life. Yeah, I remember that. I will, if I can, I'll put a link if I can work that out. Or I'll put a link to your interview on the bottom of the live stream, so people who are interested they can get your story. Vlogging in a trilby. What part of London are you originally from? I was born in Forest Gate. Keith, it's good climate all year round. Where you're looking at, I must admit, the thing about Vietnam was the rain, but it didn't last. About a week before we went to go, I was talking to a guy in Sideways, and he just spent 9 months in Vietnam. And I said, "Did you enjoy it?" He said, "No, it rained every day." He said, "It's a nice place, nice country, but there's constant rain." And I thought, wow, not looking forward to that. We got to Saigon, it rained for the first 2 days. I thought it's going to be like this every day. Ellen's like, "When's it going to stop raining?" I said, "I don't think it does," from what this guy was saying. But then the third day, never rained again. So I don't know if we were just lucky or we'd come at the end of the rainy season. But yeah, well, the first 2 days, never rained again. Google Bower Lock beside detail. It's a 2-hour from Nha Trang. Yeah, I will do. I will do. I will do after the live stream. Tell them why you prefer Vietnam to Thailand and the Philippines. Because when I first met Keith, he was over in Sikihor. He'd been to Thailand, and he was trying basically different countries to see which one might be for him. And I don't think you were blown away by the Philippines, were you? But he was going to go and try Vietnam, and he went to Vietnam, and he's never gone back. He's fallen in love with the place. So he can tell you what the difference is. That's interesting. Vlogging in a trilby just retracted his message. I wonder why. I've already read it out. Why retract it? That's mysterious. Keith, more easygoing, cleaner, good food. I don't know about the easygoing bit. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't know. I've only been to Saigon. I found the people very friendly there. I didn't find it a relaxing place because obviously it's a big city. I'm sure the quieter places will be. I mean, you wouldn't find London relaxing, would you? If you were there, certainly it was very clean, much cleaner than the Philippines. You know, on a par with Thailand in terms of cleanliness, and the food's fantastic. I mean, yeah, no doubt in that. God, I miss my banh mi's. They were gorgeous. Yellow 59. Have you been able to make any good friendships there in Dumaguete with Westerners? Yes, I have. Yeah, I've got more friends now in Dumaguete than I've ever had anywhere. It is the friendliest place in the world. I mean, it is literally. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We're talking, yeah, really good friends. Well, I mean, we just went to Vietnam. I went with like 3 good friends from here. All went on holiday together. Last night we were at a really good friend's birthday party. There are parties every week. I've never been. That's what I love about Dumaguete. It's the expat community here. Not all the expat communities. There are cliques. There are certain areas. I mean, there are a few cliques that got in terms of certain people live in a certain area, go to a certain bars and restaurants. I don't necessarily know many of them, but yeah, certainly, yeah, lots of friends. I mean, it'd be hard to count. Yeah. Yalon 59. Thanks for your live chat. My name is Tony. I live near Melbourne in Australia. Well, welcome on board, Tony. A lot of Australians in Dumaguete. It's nice of you to join us. You Australian. I think this is probably a good time for Australians in terms of live streaming, isn't it? There she is, the woman of the moment. Just come out of her office. I might spin the camera round. No, no, I will not do that. My life would not be worth living. Your rice is made, by the way, my sweets. You're done? Oh, congratulations. Her working day has finished. Global Greg, before I forget, anything I can bring over for you from the States? Wow, that's a very good question. Thank you for thinking of me or us. Can't think of anywhere off the top of my head, mate, but I will give that. I will give that some thought, and I will message you. Very kind offer. Yeah, I don't know what you could get. I don't really miss anything from the UK. I mean, a lot of people do. They'll say like, someone's come back and they bought this and they bought that. Um, if you were saying from the UK, I'd have a think. Yeah, could you bring some of this? I don't know what you would have in the States that I miss from the UK that you could get there. But I appreciate the thoughts, mate. I will get back to you on that one. Greg, chocolate for Ellen. Would you like some chocolate from the US of A, Ellen?
I do.
She says, I do. She screams, I do. She does like sweet stuff. Yeah, we will talk about that. But yeah, she does like chocolate. Is the US chocolate any good though? I mean, from a Western point of view, because I'm not really a chocolate guy, but I do like a bar of chocolate very occasionally. And I've noticed the chocolate here is lousy. All the English brands are no good. And I know there was a big, a big fuss over Cadbury's when they got bought out by the American company because everyone said they changed the chocolate and it wasn't as good. Not that many American chocolate bars. I love a Hershey bar. I had Hershey bar, and I'm not saying it's our. I'm saying I think American and English chocolate might be different. It might not be. And it's a case of what you grew up with, isn't it? But I've had Hershey bars in the UK, and they're fantastic. I had a Hershey bar from here a couple of weeks ago. Bloody awful. And I got her a Toblerone just for Christmas because I've always liked a Toblerone. And my God, the Toblerone here that they sell in 7-Eleven is not the same as it is in England. It's awful chocolate Toblerone here. I don't know why they let them call it Toblerone, but there you go. Time here is 2:36. That's your lawn. Yeah, someone has just said that because Ken's in Australia. He said it was 2:30. Do you know of many Australians in Dumagetti? Yeah, there's a lot of Australians in Dumagetti. In fact, I've forgotten about that. There is a party tomorrow, sweetie, during the day in Sibylan. Kev the Butcher's out there. It's Australia Day, so they're celebrating Australia Day. We were at a party last night, and they were like, okay. I was at a party last night, and there were like 4 or 5 Australians there, and they're all going. So yeah, there were a lot of Australians in Dumagetti. Americans are the biggest by far in Dumagetti, and after that, it could well be Australians. It could well be Australians. I know a lot of Australians here. It would either be after the Americans, because in the Philippines, the main number of tourists or immigrants that come in are Chinese and South Koreans and Indians, but not in Dumagetti. They don't really come here. I'm not sure where they go, but they don't come here. But yeah, after Americans, what would be the biggest demographic of? It would either be UK or Australia. I'm pretty sure it would be Australia. It would be Australia. Then it would be England, I think, the UK, and then it would be some Scandinavian countries. But yeah, a lot of Australians here. Global Greg, you send me a message if you think of anything. I will, Greg. Really appreciate that. And I'm really happy about it because it means you're obviously thinking you are going to come here, which is good. If you're saying that, and it's nailed on, you're going to come. Looking forward to seeing you again, mate. Global Greg, I'll get something good from Europe. What a nice man you are. Chocolate, I mean. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, mate. That's nice. I appreciate that. Simon Kendall, there you go. Simon's living in Dumagetti now. English chocolate is decent. Australian chocolate is better, but New Zealand is the best. It's all about the milk quality. It's all about the milk quality, but realistically, Simon, it's what you're used to. It's what you grow up with. I mean, I have tried Ellen on some good chocolates, English chocolates. She doesn't like them. She prefers the It's like, what's that bar? What's that peanut bar you like? Called Cloud Nine or something? Yeah, there's a chocolate bar here called Cloud Nine, which is like an imitation of Snickers or Marathon, as we used to call it. And the nougat's no good and the chocolate's lousy. And she got me a bar one day, and I thought, I don't like that. It's like a poor man's Snickers. So a couple of weeks ago, I got her Snickers. She said, get me a Cloud Nine. I thought, I will treat her. I will give her a Snickers. Didn't like it. prefers a Cloud 9. Says the Snickers had too many nuts in it. It was too. So, it's what you are used to, as much as anything else. I mean, obviously, if you want really good chocolate that no one can argue with, then it's going to be Belgium. It's going to be Swiss chocolate. I mean, that is by far the best. But when it comes to, I think, American chocolate or British chocolate or New Zealand chocolate, it's what you're used to. I mean, there is no right or wrong answer, I don't think. But Filipino chocolate is lousy. Um, Benetti Marconi, hi, I'm from Bournemouth and intend to go full-time travelling at 61 years old. Well, best of luck with your travelling. 61 is a good age to go travelling around the Philippines. Shaney 776. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Shaney. How the devil are you? I've not seen you on a live stream for a long time, but that's obviously because I usually do them at night. Where are you at the moment? Are you back in the Philippines or are you still in Canada? And how did your baseball games go? Did your team win? Your Lawn 59. Have you observed many expat drinking problems in Dumaguete? No, there's no drinking problems in Dumaguete. It's very easy to get a drink here. No, not really. I mean, there are some people who drink too much, but there's people doing no. This image of being full of expat alcoholics and badly behaving Westerners, not really. No, not at all. It's like anything. I think the people who got the real drinking problems, they will probably drink at home. I know a couple of people here who would class themselves as alcoholics, and I would agree with them. But no, not really, not really. I mean, some people like to drink, some people don't. You get a lot of people that seem to drink during the day, and they don't go out at night. You get, but no, on the whole, no, no, not at all, not at all. But it depends on your concept of drinking. I mean, I'll get a lot of Americans saying in the comments, "I'm an alcoholic." I mean, mainly trolls. I'm an alcoholic. I'm this. I'm that. I'm not. I think they're just saying it to rile me, but it's people's perceptions. You know what I mean? It's like it's. But no, I haven't. But then I come from a country where there is a drinking culture, it's pub culture. So what I don't consider to be a problem, some people would in other countries. Fanny, you're still in snowy Canada. Well, I hope you're wrapping up warm. Well, what is the time there now? Must be bloody cold. Canada's the coldest country in the world, isn't it? Extraordinary. That must be difficult for you to adjust coming from here and going to there. Um, uh, Your Lawn 59. What is your opinion of Why Not Bar Restaurant in Dumaguete? Um, I don't really have an opinion. When was the last time I went there? A lot of people say the restaurant is very good. They do a nice pizza there. Quite pricey for Dumaguete. Um, but I do know some people who swear by the food there. I wasn't blown away by it. I've eaten there a few times. In terms of, I'll tell you when was I in Why Not? I went to Why Not a week ago. Was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago? Week ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I did. I went there when my mate Frankie came over. Yes, I did. Yeah, I thought I must have been. Yeah, I went there with my friend Frankie, who's living in Manila. He came down for a weekend, and we did all the nightclubs. We went to Tiki Bar, um, the Hyde, and Bahia, and we ended up in a Why Not. And it's not changed. But after that, I don't think I've been there for a year. There seemed to be a certain that's what I'm saying. There are certain cliques here, and people do certain things. There seems to be a Why Not crowd. Because when I went in there, I didn't really know anyone, and there's very few bars or restaurants I go into in the Philippines, in Dumaguete, where I don't know people, and I'm thinking, who are these people? And most of the people I know, they would not be seen dead there. I've said a few times because I don't mind it; it can be fun. As I say, I've probably been there once in the last year, but a couple of times when we've been out on a night and it's got to like 12, 1 in the morning, and we're in a group, so where are we going to go next? I've said a couple of times, well, why not? Why not? And they're like, the looks you get, I'm not going there. I won't be seen dead in there. So, it depends. You're either a why not person or you are not a why not person. I'm kind of in the middle. Not great. I'll tell you that, it's not great. I think we stayed there for about half an hour when we went. But, horses for courses. Keith, I was there, and every day I passed on a bar on the seafront, I seen the same people. What in Dumagetti? I know you've been to Dumagetti. Yeah, you will. There were a couple of bars. There's a bar in Dumagetti. You'll be thinking a game on, and yeah, there are a crowd of people that go there every day, and yeah, they drink during the day, but they don't seem to drink at night. There is a couple that might water down, but yeah, that's the place. That is the only place, though. Um, I can't think of it. I mean, you've got the red tables up in Valencia, but if you are a day drinker, that's where you go. Some people might go to the brew garden, a few during the day, but that's why it looks busy, Keith. It's not because there's loads of drinking. That is literally the only one. And by about 8 o'clock at night, it's empty. I think it closes at 10. But yeah, that is it. I'm not a day drinker. I think I've been there probably once in the last year and a half, and that was just because of Ellen. I had to drop Ellen off, and she was going to be busy for half an hour, so I went over and sat down and had a beer there. But yeah, that is where the drinkers go. As I say, they're not drinkers as in the sense, or to my knowledge, that they like spend all day there and go. They seem to go home, and I really don't know many of the people there. And there's another one called Ocean Break Time up at the North Point. That seems to have some afternoon drinkers. Uh, but most of the bars like Sideways, the Octagon, the native one, they're during the day. There's no one there. They pick up at night. So yeah, I know what you're saying about. I know the bar you mean, but that's the only one that I know of in Dumagetti where you will have people drinking during the day. Um, Shaney, big storm, 20 to 40 centimeters maybe. It's 10:45 p.m. I hope they're paying you well, your company, to be out there in that cold. It's I presume you've got double glazing, you've got central heating on. It's nice and warm in there, but just the idea of that temperature bothers me now. 20 to 40 centimeters, maybe. That's a lot of snow. Anders Strayfield, hey Compass, Hermadoo, Adibar. Ken McCulkin, 248 here in Victoria, Australia. Ken McCulkin, 39 centigrade. You've only got one time zone in Australia, haven't you? Ken McCulkin, this Tuesday it will be 44 centigrade. Um, that's hot. That's hot. Well, we got 20 people watching and only 10 likes. That means 50% of the people who are watching don't like the live stream. Why are you watching then? Now, usually when I say that, it suddenly drops down. I don't know. It's gone up to 21. There you go. That's never worked before. Ken McColgan, it's going to be a very hot day. Yeah, if it's 44 centigrade, it's going to be a bloody hot day. Look, there you go. See, I said it, and then someone took a like away. There you go. And now I've got 11. It's fluctuated. I think someone do that just to take the piss out, and they'll hit it, and they'll hit it, and it'll come back on again. There's 4 time zones in Australia. I did not know that, Ken. There you go. I should put that in the trivia quiz. Which country in the world has the most time zones? If you don't Google it, it might surprise you. What? What are you saying? No. Go and do your stuff. I'm doing a live stream. I'm not telling you. No. China's only got one time zone. Hold on, where are we going? Shaney, lucky yesterday with wind 30 to centigrade here. Yeah, that is the wind. I was in a place called Daqing in China. And my God, the cold there. It was only about minus 15 or something like that, which I mean, it's obviously bloody cold, but it was the wind. It was the wind chill. It was always wind. You literally had to wrap up. I couldn't walk more than about 400 meters. I tried to get to this shop to buy a warm jacket, but it was about a kilometre away. People told me where it was. And no exaggeration, I tried for about 4 or 5 days to get there, and I'd make it like 400 meters, halfway mark. And you couldn't. It was getting hard to breathe. Your lips would freeze. It was just so. But it was because I've been in places like skiing, snowboarding, where it's been minus 15. And I never felt it like that, but it was because of the wind. The wind chill's terrible. Yalorn, Russia. Global Grid, Russia. Ricky, Russia. I can't remember the name of it. Well, you're all wrong. It's France. France has the most time zones because they include some of the territories. It's got 14, I believe. Yeah, there you go, France. Because it's includes the territories. Ajaya James, France has the most time zones. Well, I just told you that, or maybe you got it in before, but I did just say that. But you're right, it is France. Global Greg, I'm heading out, mate. Stay well. Hope you have gotten over your jealousy of pro-life traveller. Now he's been deported. I'm just trying. Yeah, I have got over it, Greg. It's been tough. It's been tough. I've had to have a long, hard look at myself in the mirror and overcome it. But I've overcome it now. I'm just a little bit jealous now, not too much. Thanks for joining us, mate. Be lucky. Ricky 6854, trick question. Well, it's not a trick question. It's not a trick question. It's a reality. If you Google it, I mean, I've asked it in the quiz. I don't ask it in quizzes anymore because everyone kind of knows it. But no, if you Google it, you know, which country has the most time zones? It's France. You know, that is the reality. Check it yourself. You might consider it a quick question, but it is what it is. China's always a good one as well. How many time zones does China have? People think it's a big country. It'll have a lot. It doesn't have one because it kind of goes down. It doesn't stretch over time zones. Ricky Cigarette territories don't count. Well, they do. Well, they do count according to. I mean, it is a matter of fact. If you look on if you ask a question on any search engine, or you look on the, I mean, I said which countries. I mean, I could have said including territories, but I mean, you may not think it should include territories, but in the grand scale of things, they do. It is. It is. Had I said excluding territories or including territories, then that would be a different question. But I said which country has the most time zones. And as I say, I defy you now to find a search engine that will not give you France as the answer. Ken McCulkin. Oh, here are the orders. Surprised by that. Never occurred to me that have, but they're very similar, aren't they? 153, 253, 223. I mean, they're close. It's not like America where you got like 6 and 7 and 8 hour differences. Interesting. I did not know that. Never been to Australia. Another one which catches people out, but again, it's a matter of reality. France shares a border with Brazil. I put that in before. Which of these countries does not border Brazil? And you put it down. Of course, everyone goes for France. Well, France does. Again, you might not like that, but it is a reality. I did one question once, and people went mad in the quiz. I said the Giant Causeway. In which country will you find the Giant Causeway? And one of the questions was Norway. Answer was Norway. One of them was Ireland, and the other one was the United Kingdom. And one of the American teams put Ireland. And of course, the answer is the United Kingdom, which they went mad. So it's not in England. It's in Ireland, but it's in Northern Ireland. I said, well, that's Ireland. Well, again, whether you agree with it or not, Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. So if the question is, where is the Giant Causeway, in which country? It's in the United Kingdom. Maybe on the same island as Ireland, but it's not in Ireland. There you go. I try and stay away from controversial questions these days. I can't be doing with arguing people. And there's nothing to argue about. The quiz master is always right. I say that at the start of the quiz. Well, the conversation is drying up now. I think I've upset Ricky with a trick question. I think my coffee has run out and no one's talking to me. And if no one's talking to me, then I can't really do a live, can I? So I think I will bow out now. I think I've thought of a subject to make a video on. I might go for a walk and talk in a little while. But thank you for those who took the time to join me. It's always nice to have a chat with subscribers. I hope you don't get too cold, Shaney. Keep yourself wrapped up. I hope you enjoy your vodka, your rum, and your beers, Ken. Yeah, thanks everyone. If you did like the live stream, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. Whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.